This is the inspiring story of the creation of an urban forest garden on the Fairhill Partners campus in Cleveland, Ohio. This garden focuses on health, education, intergenerational interactions, and community bonding. The aim is to grow a self-sustaining crop that will help feed the intergenerational school, the Fairhill Partners campus, and the local community. The specific design is that of a layered forest garden that produces differing varieties of food most months of the year. It is getting off the ground due to a committed group of leaders and will be maintained year-round for years to come.
We are creating a forest garden, an intergenerational forest garden, because in that space, individual human beings and our community of learners at the school, the intergenerational school, will find many lessons by looking at how nature works and how they relate to nature. And we will find lessons having to do with ecosystems and stewardship for ecosystems. We will have lessons of humility about how little we know. We will have lessons about health, because a functioning garden in which you have component parts that are working well together will be a model of health for our own bodies. We will focus on some specific topics like water systems and how we can understand the importance of water for our bodies and water for growing other living creatures.
The garden will provide teachers and administrators an opportunity to integrate the many lessons of science, nature, nutrition, health and wellness, and garden economics into the curriculum of the school.
I think it's part of the, first and foremost, it's part of the educational infrastructure. So you're teaching youth, they're understanding these basic principles, they're practicing them in this space, and they're taking those ideas out with them. So even if they're not even doing agriculture, maybe they're starting a business.
And why do you think it's important to plant things in the right place?
So it gets the right amount of energy to grow.
So I love that idea of having things growing down from the windows. I think that's great, and it takes the classroom, the intended goal of this space performing the function of classroom space, it fuses that function into the building, so you're participating in that space from the windows.
This is the first thing that I've done that can sustain life, and that is so awesome.
Sure, I think that having a school as the host of a forest garden project is really great, because the children are able to interact with that in a very formative way. They're able to take that through their lives, where they're able to do forest gardening for the rest of their lives as they grow up and as they have their own children to teach that skill to as well. In addition, you have the parents of those children that are able to interact with the garden and learn something in that way.
As you start to learn the differences between plants, it really shifts your perception to where the experience of being in a forest garden or in a natural garden is just a very rich smorgasbord of diversity, and basic botanical literacy, ecological literacy needs to be part of the core curriculum.
I think social sciences, the importance of sustainability, what ecology means to a community.
I think out of all the projects that we work on today, I think this is the most creative and impactful project that we've been able to join in on.
For her especially, and most importantly for children, I think it helps them with healthy eating habits. If they can see where their food comes from, then that'll help them eat and choose foods better, and things that'll be better to help them keep them strong and healthy and focused for school, and yeah, just kind of keep them on a healthy life plan.
For us, it's a really natural progression. As a chef owner of a restaurant, I've always been of the sentiment of sourcing locally and sourcing seasonally. As I became a proud father of two and started to bring my family into this world, it became really important for me to show my children where the things that I cook with came from.
You actually get a chance to see something that you put work into grow and blossom. So it's the outcome measurements that we do all the time.
From this, we have fruit, we have vegetables, we have beautiful flowers or plants to look at. That's the thing that I think they benefit from the most. And they learn patience. Using your hands to work that earth, and watching something grow. You know, this is the fruit of your labor.
You don't know what benefits you get. When you work with children and you're educating, you don't know what good you do.
The garden affords community residents the opportunity to experience the rewarding pleasure of growing one's own food and the chance to interact with the Fairhill Partners campus in a more meaningful way.
Masanobu Fukuoka, in his book The One Straw Revolution, which is a classic book in ecological agriculture, I consider this the most important sentence of the whole book. The ultimate goal of farming is not the growing of crops, but the cultivation and perfection of human beings.
The whole community, of course, is also going to have an impact, is also going to be impacted by that, because that is an example for people who are walking by. For anyone who sees it, it's going to be a great example of what they can do in their own life to provide food for themselves, to make sure that we are creating more food inside cities versus in rural areas.
Really, it's only by working together as communities of human beings that we're going to make a difference to creating a world that we're going to be pleased to leave for future generations, or very unhappy that they have to live in the mess we've left them.
You know, people can come here, they can see it, they can hopefully replicate it in other parts of the city.
I think that the gardening is great for social interaction and building bonds, especially for children. When they get in there together and they kind of get their hands dirty and can play with the dirt and play with the earth and take the plants and talk about the plants and watch them, you know, grow from seedlings up into full fruit, into full vegetables, that's great.
That school is vital because of the harmony that it brings to the community. Without those harmonies, we are not in congruence with simple laws of nature.
And it was inspiring the way, when something has meaning like this, having everyone come together, and there was just a natural flow, and having fun, and people just knew where to pick up what needed to be done, and just moved forward as a team.
I'd like to see this happening all over this community, happening all over this city. This is one of the things that is going to keep us going and involved as a community.
The garden offers a beautiful and unique opportunity for children and elders to share their passion for nature and gardening, to learn from nature, and to learn from each other.
A healthy system, any kind of system, includes polycultures. Without those polycultures of seniors and youth, without the polyculture of urban landscape and rural landscape, without the polycultures of simple understanding of the systems, we're going to be lost.
I like the fact that it's addressing intergenerational. The fact that you are planning for raised benches where an elderly person could sit to read a book to a young person, and where you can stroll through, and I mean, it's just that it brings so much serenity.
I think it's wonderful for any child. I think every child needs to have the chance to do that.
This is amazing.
Oh, that's what I need. Oh, magnifying so I get to see the bugs down there too. Watch them. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Shoveling. Wood chips. We made a path. That's all I have to say.
The garden will supply seasonal, wholesome food to the partner institutions. In addition to nutrition, health benefits include exercise, laughter, spiritual and emotional bonding, just to name a few.
You know, there's so many papers out there about correlating ADHD and correlating other, you know, childhood deficiencies to diet.
Sustainability means something about health. It means literally enduring, that we can help our kids learn to live well in relationship to the food that they consume, the air that they breathe, so that they can be vital citizens.
The surest way to heal an ecosystem is to connect it to more of itself. There's connections going on all over the place, and healing happens. And you can't guarantee it, you can't control it, you can't predict it, but it happens.
I'll tell you what, I feel great, invigorated. You know, it's nice to be a part of giving life in a sense, you know what I mean? And it's just beautiful, we're seeing it come together.
Spiritually, I feel as if I've grounded myself.
and it's opened up connections as far as how I'm connected with other life and how we share this space together.
It makes me feel good. It makes my heart sing. The worst day outside is better than the best day inside.
No, I think everybody should get involved. There was a Chinese saying that a man can be happy for a day if he's drunk, he's happy for a week if he gets married, and he's happy for a lifetime if he's got a God.
Well, I feel really energized and uplifted.
A little muscle exercise released a little endorphins. There's a little bit of probably some lactic acid buildup in some of my adults, but all that is welcome. Feels good. It was good to breathe the air and be in the sunshine. So the warmth of my skin, and I had a couple smiles in the last 90 minutes. So that all was very good.
It's communing with nature. It's being able to provide a healthy source of food for your friends and your family.
People, like crops, aspire to grow into something more. The personification of a vegetable or fruit gives insight into what an individual might contribute or offer to a larger human system.
I think it'd be a lemon because they're colorful and they're bright, and it gives a sense of cheer and joy to people looking at it. The nice colorful yellow that draws people's attention, and I want people to look at what we're doing here.
I think I would be an eggplant. An eggplant, yes.
Why?
Because I'm large and dark.
A cucumber.
Why?
We have a cucumber in our garden too. I would be a tomato.
Why?
Because we have them in our garden and they're sweet, and my dad makes delicious tomato basil soup.
Cauliflower. I love cauliflower. Get the fresh and even have it in salad. Cook it or just have it in salad. I think it's wonderful. I do enjoy it.
I'd be a string bean because that's what they called me in middle school.
It's not in this garden that I want it to be. I want to be an apple.
I would say broccoli. It's nobody likes broccoli, but it's very healthy, and I think it's just a vegetable that has a great color and also has tremendous health benefits.
Caroline, what would you be? You would be, we saw some beach strawberries while we were walking through, and I think that would be Caroline's. She's kind of a beach baby this summer. She's been out in the sun a lot, been to the beach, been to the pool, and she actually loves strawberries. So I think that's what she would be, kind of a beautiful blossom in the summer and a sweet, sweet fruit.
What the garden is now and what it will become is up to those who remain involved in its growth. The tangible efforts on the ground will sow benefits to both the crops and the community, today and in the future.
That it's beautiful, that it's plentiful, that it's enjoyable, that it's continuable.
I see children walking through in here and smiling and laughing.
To come back in 10 years and see this entire, like all three phases, thriving.
And my hope is that there'll be other people that learn to appreciate the serenity that a garden like this can bring to you.
I'd like it to have the feel of an outdoor living room where anyone that wants to just feel surrounded by nature would think of this place to come and sit and really interact with it, picking the fruit, tasting the leaves. I would like it to be aromatic.
An open grass-covered area, nestled in between 3 high walls and flanked by offices and classrooms, was targeted for fertile and fruitful land. The collective effort of many people got the garden started. These people represent a number of stakeholder groups, including Fairhill Partners, the Intergenerational School, the Judson Retirement Community, Case Western Reserve University's Weatherhead School of Management's Positive Organizational Development Program, and the surrounding Fairhill and Larchmere neighborhoods. Like a permaculture garden, the initial stages capitalized upon the unique strengths and individual contributions of the volunteers who work together to reach a complementary, balanced system capable of surviving over the long haul.